Glasgow, Rich Tingle, Bert Galpin, and I'm Tom Mueller. Called this special meeting together to see if there was an interest in giving the sewer users a break on their bills. There were two programs that were put forward in executive orders by Governor Lamont. One was a deferment program, which would defer the bills for 90 days. The other was a low interest rate program. We had to follow whatever the town did, and the town Board of Finance last night decided to enroll in the low interest rate program, which dropped the interest rate on delinquent payments from 1.5% per month to 0.25 or 0.25% per month. And that was for a time period of 3 months. Stacy, can you put up
Sure.
Executive Order 7S and then scroll to page 6?
Sure.
Okay, that executive order was the first one that came out that said that there could be any.
Am I too far? I'm sorry.
Nope.
No, down past the whereases.
3,
Keep going. Yep.
4,
No more.
5, 6. Here you go.
Yep, right there. Low interest rate program.
Oops.
This executive order was the first one that granted any sort of a relief from the state, from the administration for sewer charges. Up until that point, Attorney Ryback had said that the only way the WPCA could do it, if it wanted to, would be to amend the regulations. This required drafting the regulations, holding a public hearing, taking public comment on it, putting public notices in the paper, and probably would have taken at least 2 months to do that. The whole thing basically began when there was one or more business owners that requested relief so that they could continue to pay their employees while their businesses were essentially shut down. So that answer from Attorney Ryback basically came after the last month's meeting. So the earliest it could have started, the process could have started, would have been this April meeting. In looking at the Executive Order 7S, there were some questions as to how it would apply and whether we could actually do it ourselves. Did we have to follow the municipality and so forth? Then along came a guidance document. Could you put that
Sure.
up and go down to page 3?
Okay. And there we go.
Stacy, can you scroll down? Here we go.
Is that where we need to be?
Uh,
Or did you want further?
Go a little bit more. I'm looking at it on the phone, so it's kind of hard. Right there.
Okay.
Okay. This guidance document said that because delinquent bills, the interest is normally calculated on a monthly basis as opposed to a daily basis. The time period would be from April 1st through July 1st, rather than the 10th of March. Still some questions on there, but it would only be for 3 months and only if the user is making a payment. Then we went to Executive Order 7W. We need page 3 on that, paragraph B, clarification of time periods.
There you go.
Okay. Now, what this executive order did was clarify the time period to be 3 months instead of 90 days, and changed the March 10th beginning date to April 1st. So that then allowed us to continue farther and me to pester Attorney Ryback even more. Now, what Stacy doesn't have, because I just got it late this afternoon, is a guidance document number 4. And this one allows the WPCA, or actually the town, any municipal group for taxes, sewer, water, electricity, to bring into users that were already delinquent on or before March 10th of 2020, and states that it will be subject to the 0.25% per month, 3% per year interest period for a period of 90 days from the executive order date until July 1st, 2020. Office of Policy and Management concludes April 1st, 2020, the effective date of the executive order, to July 1st, the delinquent taxpayer pays 0.25% per month or a portion thereof instead of the normal 1.5% per month, but only on the last 3 months and only if they are making a payment. Advice from Attorney Ryback is that if the WPCA wants to partake in this program, we should have a vote to that effect. Oh, the other part of this was the municipality must notify the Secretary of the Office of Policy and Management no later than April 25th. And that kind of shot us in the foot with our next meeting of April 28th. That's why I needed to call a special meeting. So I guess this comes down to it, as to whether or not the WPCA wants to take part in the program, in which case I would then notify First Selectman Ed Mohn and request that the Board of Selectmen support and approve our request to join the program for the period of 3 months. And that any motion to that effect would need to list who is eligible for that, be it residential, commercial, industrial users, benefit connections. One of the executive orders already says that benefit assessments are included. So first off, does anybody have any questions? I'll try and answer them. I know it's confusing. I've probably run up a legal bill that far exceeds our semi-annual payment, but hopefully it doesn't go too far.
Tom,
Anybody
if
have-
you wanted, if you wanted to email me this new item, I can put it up. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, let me see how quickly I can get to that.
While you're thinking about that, if we done a comparison between the two options and how they would affect the WPCA and the two options and how they would benefit or not benefit the customers.
Joe, I started to do that. However, Attorney Ryback has said on a number of occasions that the WPCA must use the same program that the town selected with the Board of Selectmen. So I believe we do not have the chance to use the other program, the deferment program. The only one that we can use, because that was selected by the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance, is the low interest rate one.
Okay, makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
So ultimately, what we're looking at is given that option, what's it mean as far as our cash flow and whether or not we can sustain that over that time period? Because we're ultimately yes or no, right?
Yes.
Tom, were you able to find out how many, not that this makes any difference in the big picture, but since our bill is paid theoretically quite a while back, how many taxpayers are going to be impacted by this?
I do have a list, but I haven't been able to go through that. I don't know if Rich has any ideas. He sent me the list.
We have am I on there now?
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
you're on there. We
Okay.
see you.
There's about 20 commercial industrial customers that would be affected by it. Residential, I'm just, there's a lot delinquent right now.
There are.
But I guess, they were due January 1st.
Right.
So I guess from April 1st to July 1st, anything they pay during that period would get that 0.25%, Tom?
I believe so. That's my understanding, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rich, when you say a lot, 5%, 10%, 80%?
17%. With residential, about 17%.
Okay.
And Tom, it says in there that you have to describe, at least I think this is what I understood. You have to describe for them, or you said it had to be described. Does that mean you have to say, since it says they have to be making payments, what that payment has to be? Or I wasn't quite sure what that meant, that they had to be making payments during that time to qualify. So do you have to tell them that they must pay a minimum of 10% of their bill? Or that's the part I didn't understand about clarifying what they had to pay during that time frame.
Ronnie, I'm not sure that there is anything that says there has to be a certain minimum. I've not come across anything like that. Just the fact that they need to be making a payment in that month.
Okay, so we could,
Obviously, the more they pay, then the less interest they
Okay.
pay going forward.
so in any given month that they don't make a payment, they don't qualify for the 0.25%. Is that the way you understand it?
That's correct. And for that month, then they would be charged the 1.5%.
So you think the guidance would be sufficient to simply say, as long as a payment is made?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Right. No minimum, right? It could be $5.
Right. I just didn't
And,
know how much we were pinned down to making it clear to them. But
Right.
as long as a payment is made, you think is sufficient language?
Yeah, keep the account active.
Okay.
Stacy, did you get that guidance document?
Yeah, she has it up.
Okay, because it went away on mine.
Yeah, I see it. It's
I still
scrolling
have it.
through.
I have 2 on mine.
I got it.
I think what happened on mine was I moved it to the desktop and then back again to a folder, so.
Well, I think given the amount of time that we have, we're kind of not going to make a perfect decision on this.
Well,
But-
Joe, just think too, our finances, our reserve accounts are in darn good shape right now.
That's kind of where I was going. I
Mhm.
think, given where our reserves are, and we're talking about interest payments, we're only talking about a 3-month deferment. I think we can struggle through that. And it's not like the revenue is going away. It's just
Right.
being delayed.
Deferred.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
So given the unique nature of the hardship, I'm inclined to say, let's go ahead and, give the payment, or, go along with what the rest of the town is doing and defer it. I mean, I would have considered deferring it completely for 3 months, but
That's where I started out, Joe. But
Yeah.
it ended up not being an option.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then from my standpoint, I don't know if it makes a difference. If you're a big enough business and have deep enough pockets, you probably pay anyway. Anybody that's struggling, I don't mind giving them a break in this instance as well.
Yep. You're right.
So I would include residents and commercial.
How
Everyone.
about industrial?
Yeah, I'd go with industrial.
How many do we have?
I don't know if there's any, but if.
There's a couple.
Ward, Ward,
Pardon me?
the Ward Leonard,
Yeah, they would be in there. Arcade, Unimetal.
or Arcades, yeah. Unimetal. I'm personally good with that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am too. I think they have an awful lot that they're juggling with. The last thing I hope that those people the industrial are not delinquent on their accounts, but if they are, that's the last thing they need is to be getting fees heaped on top of it.
Yeah, well, cash is king, and if you want to keep your business rolling, you need cash flow. And if we can help with the cash flow, for a 3-month period, then I'm
Sure.
cool with it.
Yeah,
Again,
they may
Yeah, go
decide that it's worth 1/4% per month to
To pay something.
delay paying it for a month or two,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then, paying their payroll instead. Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Okay, that being said, we will do a roll call vote afterwards. Joe, would you care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adopt the town of Thomaston's already selected interest reduction option and have it apply to residential, commercial, and industrial customers.
I'll second that.
Okay, do you want it to be just the sewer user charge? Do you want it to be benefit connections, assessments?
All fees.
Okay. Okay, John, would you care to second that?
Yes, I'll second that. Yes.
Okay, having a motion that's been made and seconded, take a roll call vote. Joe, how do you vote?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously with all commissioners present. Okay, now I would entertain a motion to go into executive session, inviting Rich, Bert, and Stacy to attend.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Joe, how do you vote?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Okay, Joe, how do you vote?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. We're out of executive session at 7:26. I forgot to note the time that we went in. I hope somebody else did.
It'll be on the video.
Okay. I guess now all we need to wrap up is a motion to adjourn. Joe?
So moved.
Second.
That Mark?
Second it, yep.
Okay. Joe, how do you vote?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes at 7:26. Thank you, everybody. I know
Thank
this-
Thank you,
you.
Tom, very
I know
much.
this was
Thank you,
confusing,
Stacy.
No problem.
Anytime.
and I hope it works out for all of our users.
Well, that's
Special
what we're
thank
here
you to
for.
Stacy for putting it together.
Not a
See you in a
problem.
couple weeks.
Thanks, Stacy. Yep.
Bye.
Everybody stay safe.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ending it now.